cons of keyboard, here are the pros and cons of controller. Don't be afraid to experiment with both. Controller. Default is fine. Don't change. Keyboard. Change the default camera controls and you'll be fine. Can't change though. If you have the choice, play vanilla. Special edition introduces gameplay changes that negatively impact high-level Dante, specifically regarding Full House and the removal of Lucifer glitch. Also this whole fiasco. Feel free to pause. Otherwise just deal with it. If you're on PC, you have two options. 4-hook for vanilla, Super Trainer V9 for SE. 4-hook is superior. It has many more options and settings for practice and generally messing around. Super Trainer is good enough to get the job done, I guess. Dante in DMC4 is all about controlling height, positioning, and inertia. Dante's main weapons are ENI and Rebellion, with other weapons being used for specific moves and outcome. While in DMC5, where Dante's each devil arm has a serviceable launcher and an aerial attack to keep a combo going, DMC4 Dante forces you to quickly switch your weapons for specific moves to manipulate Dante's positioning and or inertia to not drop a combo. This results in a fast yet methodical playstyle that only DMC4 can provide. Shit is like 5 AM and I haven't slept a fucking dot. Enemy step allows you to cancel any animation by jumping off an enemy. This allows you to chain moves by cancelling the attack when jumping near an enemy's hitbox. Due to enemy step being executed via jump, this is generally referred to as jump cancelling. Enemy step also replenishes your one-time use abilities like air hike or skystar. When trying to jump cancel, you want to input enemy step into attack, not the other way around. This ensures that enemy step is cancelled as soon as possible and you won't waste time letting the enemy step animation play out. Shit, wrong character. Post editor note, I'm a dumbass. I forgot to mention positioning when jump canceling shit, like what kind of position you gotta be? From the front, from the back? Damn, great game. In DMC4, you actually have like proper hitboxes. That shit ain't like pyrocynical fan art commissions. Like that shit ain't thick as hell. Like there's like a decently small window that you need to like GC in. And generally speaking, you have a much easier time GCing from the front and to the side where the arm is. Like you see that shit? You see that blade? Basically, pretty much you gotta GC from there. It's not like a hard set rule, but like it just makes shit easier. Like, unless you're like fucking spooning the scarecrow, you have a pretty hard time. Damn, my blood playing Black Ops 3, I might hop on with it. Remember this? I did an advanced tactic called lying. Now whip out your notebooks, we're gonna learn about Newton's first law of motion. When you perform a move with a lot of momentum like Skystar or Full House and jump cancel it into Rave, you will see Dante drift in the air. This is called inertia. If you GC an inertia generating move while holding a direction key, Dante will drift in said direction. This is called redirecting inertia. In DMC4 you have moves that generate, preserve, and hold inertia. With the ability to control inertia, you have precise control over where you are in the arena, as long as you have an enemy to JC off. When you shoot while preserving inertia, bullets will redirect your inertia towards the enemy. This term is called the bullet magnetism. I'll try to make this quick. Now I understand that some of you may be confused or lost. Due to this, I will analyze some of my gameplay and explain my move selection to hopefully shed some perspective and further your understanding of DMC4 combat. After double launching into Trick Up, I generally go for a splash to align myself closer to the Scarecrow, as I find trying to do a raw full house after Trick Up very inconsistent. After full house, I realize that I'm not high enough to do another full house into Rave. A Skystar into Rave would give me the same effect while allowing me to be much lower relative to the Scarecrow, allowing me to continue the combo. When I made the guide, I made it for a couple of reasons. The first reason, I want this guide to be sort of a bridge between casual play and like the skill floor for style play. Because I want this guide to be sort of like a mentality of playing Dante, how it's like mainly played. I never aim for this to be like a be-all, end-all knowledge book. Obviously, I missed out on a lot of things. I missed out on reversals. I missed out on DD distortion. Well, I did mention Lucifer, but like I did not like explain Lucifer at all. My mentality is to give everything and explain everything a new player would need to know if they wanted to ever play style. I mean like more so high level play, because there are a lot of different play styles. If you're looking for like DMC information related to 4 or just in general, you will find videos, and good videos too, but I also encourage to go into DMC Discord servers and talk to like experienced stall players. Don't be afraid to ask for some help and some guidance, as sometimes you just don't know what you're doing wrong and they might point it out. As I've mentioned, like the main purpose was like to bridge the gap, but like there are also like a few different purposes. The guide was also made like to shine light on DMC4 as a game and like DMC4 Dante as a character, because I've seen like a decent chunk of people either think like DMC4 Dante isn't really that good due to his like bland kit, which I disagree. At a higher level of play, this kit is everything you'll ever need and is not lacking in any way, shape, or form. It just like takes a good while to get used to. The other thing I've seen is like a lot of people not really giving DMC4 Dante much a chance. Generally, it's just because he's like regarded as like god character that you need to spend 3,000 hours just to do a single fucking guard fly, 5,000 hours if you want a star rave. Well, it is true that DMC4 Dante is the hardest character to get into and like master. I think the amount of people thinking it is like fucking impossible to learn unless you like become a Shaolin monk is crazy. Yes, this character is hard, but the game plan on a fundamental level is very easy to understand. And a lot of the getting good just comes from smartly practicing new moves and training for consistency. And like, this guide also sort of made it because I want more people to play or Dante on a higher skill level, because he is my favorite character to play and is the one I main right now. In general though, I would really like if this guide inspired more people to play DMC at a higher level in general. Doesn't matter what game. And it's just such an amazing single player game with so much depth, and even if like your goal isn't to like become the next fucking Sakaki, I still will feel better because I know people got into a series that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Really just want people to experience the thing, this side of DMC that they only like see on YouTube. It's like a much different feeling than just like watching somebody do it. Like, oh shit, but still. Like, generally, I want people to get into style play because I think style play is really cool. The first step is to slow down the game when learning a new move. The idea is that when you practice slowly, you practice the correct input, and practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. So if you improperly just smash full house into rave, and just like pray on RNG that you get it down, you'll have issues later on executing full house into rave. And when you practice slowly, you practice the correct input, and even though you do play on like slower speed, it might take some time to get used to. It's way more efficient to just, when learning, to slow the game down. So why the fuck is this move in the game? It's just so goofy. But the other tip, right, is don't spend all of your like time against like an infinite health scarecrow with no other enemies. Like, yes, of course, a controlled environment is perfect for learning moves, but because it's a controlled environment, spending all of your time in Bloody Palace doesn't put any pressure on you to perform moves. You have all the time to launch, you have all the time to drop the combos, you have all the time to relaunch, and the issue is that there isn't any pressure for you to do the move on demand. When you play missions, right, you play Bloody Palace, Gods Must Die, or just like DMD, you pretty much consciously try your best to do the move because you know that you can't really drop it and there will be consequences for you dropping it. So your mind understands that it needs to do moves on demand, and thus the stuff you have been practicing in a controlled environment will get finalized into your muscle memory, and that's how you like become very consistent. So generally speaking, practice against infinite health demons to learn new moves, and play Bloody Palace and regular missions to just like down consistency, because like even if your goal isn't consistency, nobody likes dropping a combo. Like let's be real, imagine doing like some sick as fuck shit, and then you just drop it. And the last but not least bit, like I know I said like here's like an entire guide, here's a philosophy, like play Dante. What I'm basically trying to say, don't take things too seriously. Enjoy the journey, man. Is what's something I personally struggle with for the longest time in DMC, and only recently have I learned to enjoy playing the game. If you don't feel like playing DMC, don't play DMC, because if you force yourself to play DMC, you won't learn very much. Like, obviously, it's a bit of a chore to grind out moves with like infinite health monsters, but still, if you don't want to practice like sitting in the same pale room, just play some Bloody Palace, play some missions. Even if you're not good, you can still have fun with DMC4. It isn't all just like practice until you become a god. But generally, just like enjoy yourself. Even if that means like spamming DT Stinger 20 times in a row if you feel like it. Because like, of course, everybody wants to get better.